the Commanders are very lucky to be in the position that they are. Now, obviously, they had to win those games. They had to beat Detroit. They had to beat Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. It wasn't easy beating any one of those teams, but they won. And they're now going into Philadelphia against a Philadelphia Eagle team that I thought automatically were favorites of coming out of the NFC. One of the reasons why Saquon Barkley, now they have to figure out, and Dan Quinn is going to have to figure out how to stop Saquon, because for some reason, really in the last, I would say 5-6 weeks, since I know he missed the last week of the season, but practically the last 5 games he's been in, he's been running on just like a rampage. This guy is as good as any running back we've seen over the last couple of years. Everybody keeps talking about Christian McCaffrey. This guy this year has been better than any running back has been in the last 5 years. I'm talking about catching the ball. I'm talking about running the ball. The guy's an absolute beast. And when this guy is 100% and he is on, they're almost unstoppable. If Jalen Hurts is 100%, then this should be an easy ride for the Philadelphia Eagles. Is it going to be an easy ride? I don't think so. The Commanders are not going to make it any easier. These two teams know each other. They're in the same division. Dan Quinn knows, obviously, how the Eagles like to play. And again, Dan Quinn understands how to read offenses. This guy understands the game. But guess what? Philadelphia is the best all-around defense throughout the season. So if you think Fangio doesn't know how to run a defense and understand how to read offenses, I beg to differ. I think Jayden Daniels is a sensational quarterback. He's good outside of the pocket. He knows how to make throws in the run. I still think this defense is strong up front. They can beat you up front. There's so many good defensive weapons that they have. Carter's a sensational weapon. Davis is good. They have great linebacking play, and their secondary is sensational. I mean, I don't know if Mitchell is 100% healthy. He did get hurt in the last game. If he plays, and Deshaun and Slay looks like he's starting to play really, really good in the playoffs, making a good run, this defense is as prolific as any defense we've seen in the playoffs in the past year. Now, I don't know how they're going to run their offense. I love Eckler. I think Eckler's a good weapon. He's going to help Jayden Daniels in this game. He's a good punt returner. The guy, if he's 100% healthy, this was a great signing in the offseason. Stealing him from the Chargers, I was very surprised the Chargers let him go. But guess what? Jim Harbaugh had his own decisions to make, and I think they have a good duo in Eckler and Robinson. Two guys that can run the ball and run the ball very, very well. But guess what? One of the best run defenses in the NFL is the Philadelphia Eagles. So if the Philadelphia Eagles can make the Commanders one-dimensional and let Jayden Daniels stand in the pocket and beat you in the pocket, this could be Philadelphia's game. I do believe the Philadelphia Eagles are the more talented team. They have obviously the advantage because they have the background with the guys, some of these guys that have been there, done that. Graham's still there. Graham's gone to a Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl. Cox is still there. There's still veterans on this team that have been there and done that. So there's an opportunity now that before this season ends, the Philadelphia Eagles could be raising the Lombardi Trophy, and that says a lot when a team has never won a Super Bowl in their existence. Yep. They've won championships, but they've never won a Super Bowl. How many times will you see this team actually get to the NFC title game? There's not many times that you're going to see a team get to the NFC title game. Now, Jayden Daniels is doing his rookie season. There's no guarantees he'll be there again. We've seen a lot of teams go that far, and then all of a sudden, we never see him again. The NFC is very interesting because it's very wild. I mean, Green Bay this year, Jordan Love wasn't 100% healthy. I think that had a lot to do with the way they played in the second half of the season. I think Minnesota, they're just not a playoff team. Maybe they'll figure it out soon. They've got a tremendous team. Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers, they still need to get healthy. They weren't 100% healthy. I do think if the Rams keep this team together with Kupp and obviously, Puka Nacua and the players that they have, they're going to be competitive. Seattle too. I just think there's no guarantees that they're going to be there again. And do you think the Cowboys are going to be that bad like they were this year? The Cowboys have been a successful team. Like them or not, they've been a successful team. And in that division, the NFC East, it's wide open because the Giants are starting to try to rebuild. They're trying to figure things out. If they can get it right, that's a very competitive division. I mean, the Cowboys have been 1 or 2 in that division. this is the first year that we've seen Washington fight and make the playoffs the way they have. The last time we remember they were there was with Kirk Cousins. So that's been a long, long time and a long time waiting. Dan Quinn is a guy that has been successful and he's gone far in the playoffs, but we've seen him fall right on his face after he went all the way to the Super Bowl and then lose his job. So there's no guarantees that the Washington Commanders are going to be here. Do the Eagles have the more pressure on them? 100%. They're the better team. They're supposed to be there. But the Eagles aren't looking at it that way. I think the Eagles are looking at it, hey, if we go out there and play our game, there's no way this team is going to beat us. If Jalen Hurts is at 100%, even if he's at 90%, we're not going to need a star Jalen Hurts because we got Saquon friggin' Barkley who's going to be able to run against that defense. As good as the defense that the Washington Commanders played this year, they have had problems stopping good running backs. They had problems stopping Saquon Barkley in both those games. It's going to be very, very hard in 4 quarters to keep this guy under 100. And if this guy is anywhere close to the red zone, they're going to keep feeding him the ball. They're going to keep feeding it. They're going to feed the beast, and he's going to keep slamming and jamming them until he puts it in the end zone. That's why I just think that going into this game, is Saquon Barkley 100%. It's not Jalen Hurts. It's not anybody else. If this man is 100%, listen, last week, did you not think that the defense on the other side of the ball didn't realize that Saquon Barkley was getting the ball? They knew he was getting the ball. They couldn't stop him. It didn't matter if it was snowing, raining, or it was beautiful out. They weren't going to stop this man. Did you see how fast he was running in the snow? I mean, how many running backs do you know that can grip the grass or whatever, the what do they call it, the turf, and run as fast as that man can?